Wood River Health is my home for health.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavior.
Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Behind the Curtain with the Granite Theater. Today, I am joined, as always, by the artistic director, Nicole DeMatte.
Ooh, I want everyone to introduce me like that.
Yes.
The artistic director.
The artistic director. And we are also here with the wonderful costume designer, Jane Mandes?
Either way, I respond. Yeah.
Jane.
Jane. Let's just go with just Jane. Just Jane. Good morning.
Jane. I'm sorry, I had a Bare Naked Lady song stuck in my head.
Oh. Jane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you? Now they're
One
going
of
to
my
put you
favorites.
on stage. Now they're going to put you on
Well, no,
stage.
she has.
Oh, that's where
she
I
has
like to
plenty
be.
of times been on stage. She was Adelaide in Guys and Dolls.
I was.
Oh,
hello.
So that's actually when I decided that Jane was forever going to be the costume designer.
Yeah.
I tell this story a lot, but so there's a song there in the show called "Take Back Your Mink," and when trying to figure out how the clothes come off, they
Sorry, now
now
that song's
you're
stuck in
singing
my-
it.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you're welcome. I told the girls that my dream would be to put magnets in them so that they could just pop off, because snaps are scary, buttons are terrible, zippers don't work, ties get tied,
Velcro is noisy.
Velcro is noisy, but magnets are the way to go.
right.
And just with that was my first season, there were so many things that I was still doing all by myself, and I never got around to it. And Jane, even though she was Adelaide, it was like the day before final dress. And she was like, if I can make your magnet dream come true, will you let me try? And I was like, yes. Like, the other option is just we do what we're doing, which was, I think, ties. Like,
Right.
And she came in the next day with like 4 of the most beautiful ball gowns that came off with magnets. And I was like, and talk to me about your costume experience and how I might not need to do this anymore.
We have the quickest comment that we've ever had in the show, which it happened 3 minutes ago, which is Antonella Rizzo saying Jane is the best.
Thanks, Antonella. Deja Vu, everybody. I get a lot of my costumes from Deja Vu right over there in the same plaza. I think it's the Granite Street Plaza. It's Family Dollar and Alley Cats. Antonella provides some of the best in terms of consigned items for everyone to enjoy and for us to enjoy again and again on the stage. So thank you, Antonella.
We love it. We love
yay.
Antonella.
We love
Shout out
Antonella.
to Deja Vu Consignments.
Yeah,
Right
total
next to-
shout out.
Right next to Rio's Barbershop and Fuel
yeah.
Good
How
Nutrition.
could you not? With 2 boys in my house, we love Rios.
Oh yeah, same.
fabulous.
Carlos gave me this drastic haircut that I got. No, it's enough, Nicole. So so anyway, I'm so sorry.
I just got shut down.
But we do love Rios.
I love Rios. Shout out to Carlos. Antonella said, "Oh, thank you so much for your continued support, my friend." Okay, enough out of you, Antonella. You can't comment unless you come in the studio. She's been supposed to be on a show for like 4 years now.
Well, careful. She might be
Wow.
just down the street. So she can
I'm
come
sure
in
she's
here.
just down the street. She can come in. Anyway, so and by the way, okay, listen, while we're talking about that, she sent me on a rabbit hole yesterday. Antonella did. Sent me on a rabbit hole yesterday because they had a pop-up at Deja Vu
Yep.
for Musquama Fit Foods, which
Ooh.
is a food order service,
Mhm.
like bulk meal prep.
Oh, wow.
Bulk meal prep, and and you can pick it up right at you can order it 2 times. There are 2 different pickup dates every week, and it's a new small business that's starting, and
We love that. Support
seems
small business.
Yay.
yeah,
That's
seems
great.
seems really cool. So and then that sent me on a rabbit hole of like looking it up and looking up what the meals are and calculating how much it would cost per week and then what that is versus groceries. And anyway, so shout out to Antonella for doing things for the community.
Yeah.
Love
All right, so magnets.
Magnets.
You were like, I don't have to do costumes anymore.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that was, almost 2 years ago, which has been amazing.
Yeah.
And it keeps Jane in the building, which I love because
And I also love to be in the building.
yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
helpful.
And then Jane what's your title at New
So
Heights?
I work for Vista Life Innovations, and I am the associate director of their Pawcatuck campus called New Heights. So we are a teaching and training program for neurodiverse adults as they move forward with their independent quests of living in a community with some supports or no supports with the appropriate teaching and training. And that's what we do.
And so Jane brings her students every Friday to the theater.
Yep.
And they have tasks.
I'm a huge, huge, huge theater person. In case anyone doesn't know me, that is what I do. I live, breathe, and die by the theater. So I think it's really important to celebrate the interdisciplinary nature of that opportunity, and for those with neurodiversities to see that the world is not a one-dimensional place. So, for example, if you go to the theater and you're seeing a show, if the lights aren't on, no one's going to see your show. So that lighting guy in that booth or that lighting gal in that booth is really important, and to really instill that understanding of how everybody plays in this big performance and everybody plays a part. Even if you're the diva like myself in the center of the stage, if the lights aren't on and the sound guy isn't there to turn on your microphone, it really doesn't matter what you've done or what you learn. That part of your team is important. And a team mentality can carry anyone, including those with neurodiversities, through into any job, because typically you're not in a job by yourself. And asking for help and seeking help when you need magnet dresses or whatever it is, advocating for yourself and saying, hey, I need help, that's okay too. And all of those skills you learn in the theater. So I love it. I'm an advocate for theater in schools. Theater, stay in schools. Music, stay in schools. All of that is so important.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then so that's been amazing. Jane's been a pretty consistent staple at the theater since longer than I've been there. So how long have you been at the Granite?
2015, when we moved here, I realized that they were right down the street. And so I went and I auditioned for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and ended up as a, not to reveal my age, but a 30-plus-year-old Snoopy on the top of a doghouse, which was wildly exciting with the quality of my knees. So that's fun. But that was great. It was great, again, getting to get back into the theater after years of a hiatus. And then we did, it's just been ever since I was president of the board during COVID, which was wildly entertaining to watch and experience. I did and am forever grateful to people like the Champlin Foundation, Florence Foster Jenkins, the Latner Foundation, all those folks that answered our call for grants during that time in order to keep the door open. And we also had the Shuttered Venue Grant, which is a federal grant that really helped support our theater during that time when it was, touch and go for a lot of businesses like that rely heavily on the patronage of the community.
That's awesome. We have another comment here from Clarkson Ellis, who said, once Nicole gets a good volunteer, they never leave. Right?
Clarkson.
Right, Jane?
Oh, he knows. He's my lighting the lighting extraordinaire fella. He
Now
knows.
they never leave, or they're never allowed to leave.
Oh, it's
Nicole?
allowed. I do not allow them to leave.
Well, you know,
but they also don't want to leave.
I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
My house is right down the street. The community there is so supportive. People that come in and come out and ebb and flow through those doors always take away the fact that we become like a family. You become like a unit. It's that team. And what makes a strong team is a strong foundation. And for those of us that get sucked into the vortex of Nicole's beautiful eyes, can get stuck there, by default or by, talent and position. We love to be there. And we love it because of Nicole. We love it because of the opportunities that it affords us to celebrate our art form that, I got to be honest, it hasn't made me much money in my life. So I've had to move on to other careers, but the theater is what keeps me going, along with my children. Sorry, fellas. Them too.
Well,
Yeah. So, and then, Clarkson, or as we call him, Don, he is recently retired. So his wife also won't let him leave the theater.
She's like, no, go, please,
Go,
stay.
Please go. Get out of the house. Yeah.
But no, it's, I am a huge advocate of people who want to be in the building being in the building. And
when you want to be there, you make things better because you want to do it.
You want the work to be better,
Right.
So,
you want to play any role you can to support a performance. And that, again, speaks to that vocational experience for my students and members being so profound, because that's what you do in a work environment. If you want to be in that work environment and you can contribute to that work environment, not only does it help your own self-worth, but you can see how it can help everybody. And that's what the theater does.
Absolutely. And it's really showing. Did you see the set for The Tale of the Allergist's Wife?
Yeah.
It's just absolutely gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
I want to live there.
I know.
If there was only actually a bedroom behind that door, I would never leave.
I hopefully this isn't spoiler alerts, but DJ Gadget texted me on Saturday night and went, "They're cooking. They're cooking. Did you know about this?" I was like, "No, I did." I was like, I knew that they ate a lot in the
full
show.
5 senses this time.
Yeah.
It's like a full sensory experience.
Yeah, any chance to add a little 4D experience, but they cook during the top of Act 2, and so they cook at intermission, and that smell just like wafts into the audience. Oh, it's so good.
It's realism. All about
right,
realism. The set is real. The smells are real. The food is real.
And it really is, because I even got an email from one of our patrons after opening night just saying, like, I know that couple. Like, they're my friends. And she's like, I felt like I was, in their living room with them. And that's kind of cool. We have, a lot of theater is using your imagination, which I love that aspect of it. I love black box theater in that sense. But when we get the opportunity to put a beautiful living room, Upper West Side, New York City living room on stage, and with a working kitchen and, working lights, it's really cool. But the set builders, they absolutely could have stopped. They're volunteers. Yeah. They could have stopped, but they didn't, because one of them said to me, he's like, well, I just, it's just fun to make it look as professional as we can. And if that little bit, there was one thing that was bothering me, and I was like, this is not important. I'm not going to say anything. Like, I try also not to like overwhelm the volunteers. Right. So I like put in order of how much things are going to stress me, like what I need accomplished and what I can live without. And there was one thing that something was just like off angle, and I was like, it's okay. And I came in the next day and it was fixed, and I was like, wait, did you? And they're like, yeah. But like one of the guys was like, I stayed up all night thinking about it, so I had to come in and fix it. And I was just like, but you don't get that if you're not surrounded by that same energy, I walked in here and complained about the weather and absolutely could have brought everyone down, but
Thank you, Eeyore.
yeah. But it's just, it is really about exerting positivity and
those little details that are paid attention to. I love it when people figure them out. Like if you have little Easter eggs or little moments, like sometimes as a costumer, I'll put in old costumes into, like, we did a show, for example, Sleuth, and Sleuth had a domino it looked like a set of dominoes that was a trunk, and he opened the trunk and he starts pulling costumes out of the trunk, and they were from previous shows, which is my little, Easter egg in the show. And people noticed that I put previous costumes in there. So that was funny to keep everybody connected. And moments of detail, again, in Sleuth, it was kind of about a gameplay, and Ken Ko, who's also in The Allergist's Wife, was fabulous in Sleuth, and he humored me by wearing a pair of socks that had chess pieces all over them, and people noticed. And I love that. And similarly to the apartment and similarly to the cooking, when people notice and that's what they take away, that attention to detail, they'll come back and they want to see what you have to show next. And I love that.
Yeah, that is fun. And we do, like, we get a kick out of that. There's Senate, this game that was in Sleuth, I put on the set of The Allergist's Wife, just in case anyone noticed. I also had a really fun time with the magnets on the refrigerator. So they're all my magnets from home, but like one is a Disney magnet. She has her entire breakdown happens at the Disney store. So you can't really tell it's a Disney magnet, but I know. There's a Munich, Germany magnet from when I was in Germany, but they talk about Munich, Germany. There's a Lucy and Ethel magnet. They also talk about Lucy and Ethel. So like fun things like that. All of Roger, who did our set design, he also did like the digital work design, and so all the papers that are on the refrigerator, the itineraries, like he put like a ton of research into them. He made business cards with hilarious funny emails, and even figured out who won the Roundabout Honors Award in the year 2000 and put a poster up for that. Like it's like really fun when you get into that attention to detail. And we only had 2.5 weeks from Full Monty to The Tale of the Allergist's Wife. So the fact that we were able to do that just shows this like level of commitment that everyone just,
it's a passion.
It is a passion.
Possibly diagnosable, but it's also a passion.
And how was opening weekend?
It was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Did you get to see it? No, you're seeing it next week.
Next week. This week I was busy.
Yeah.
And are you excited for closing weekend?
No, I'm not. I'm not excited. Like,
I know.
it's too fast. It really is too fast.
Can we just leave the setup? Can we make that work for Peter Pan?
Laramie
Project.
No, I know. I'm very, number one, I'm sad to see the set go. Number two, I'm sad to see this cast go. The audience response was spectacular. And the other, something we did this year, number one, we added a show to the season. That does not include 101 Dalmatians. So if you include 101 Dalmatians, we added 2 shows to the season.
Whose fault is that?
It's totally mine. I
okay,
know,
just to clarify, had nothing to do with the costumer. Trust me.
And so that meant we had to not only start early, but we had to, like, these first 4 shows are only 2 weeks long. And so that allows, number one, for the summer show to be 4 weeks, which we did last year for Drowsy, but it also allows for the Christmas show to be 4 weeks, which we did not do. And every year we've had to add shows to the Christmas show. So I was like, you know what, like, we're just going to do 4 weekends of Christmas, because I get it. Everyone wants to see a Christmas show. A Christmas Carol, this Christmas Carol that we're doing is my absolute favorite. Alan Menken wrote the music. Like, it is,
And for a town like Westerly that's so steeped in strong tradition and family ties, the Christmas show is really something that they go to every year. We see people that come visit their families for the holidays and then end up I've been here since I was a kid. I've seen your Christmas show every year. It's something that we want to honor and really represent as a community staple. So it's important.
Yeah. Which just meant that these first 4 shows only were able to have 2 weekends. And, I really, really, really struggled last year with opening weekends of all the shows. They're just light, and there's no reason they should be light because the cast is ready and they deserve an audience, and everyone's then waiting to, hear what people say. Or when there are 3 weekends, people are like, oh, if I don't catch it this weekend, I have 2 more. When there's only 2, they're like, oh, I'm just going to pick between these dates, whatever works best. And that's really, really boded well for us. Someone over the weekend, I don't remember what day, but they were shocked at how full the audience was for a straight play in early April. They were like, it wasn't even said to me, it was overheard. I've never seen more than half an audience full at one of these shows. And the houses were full this weekend. And, so on the one hand, I'm like really sad that we don't have a 3rd weekend, but on the other hand, I'm really happy that the cast had full houses for their opening weekend because they deserved it.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was there. I got an email from a patron that said, Broadway quality, set, cast, everything. Like it was just amazing. And I don't disagree. Like I said to Roger over the headset during tech, I was like, this set, I have seen this in New York with famous people.
Yeah.
Like this.
And it looks like a sitcom. It looks like you could have Kramer come right through the door. And I'm like, where's Kramer?
I'm like, should we just leave the set up and like write a multicam sitcom?
It really and truly.
I'm in.
Yeah, right.
I'm in.
Get Nancy Burns Fusaro.
Put a studio audience, exactly.
Nancy will come in and review it. It'll be great.
It'll be great.
We'll have a live audience, laugh track.
It'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me. We might.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just cancel everything else. We're fine.
Guys, we are now television producers.
I'm in.
Yes, I'm sure.
I'm in. I'm fully in. No, definitely do that though. For real.
I don't know. I do have a secret dream of filming a Hallmark movie at the theater. Come on, right? Because I'm be honest, I did watch, I don't know what, if it was Lifetime or Hallmark or Hulu or whatever, but there was like one that took place at a theater, and they obviously didn't have theater people involved because it was just wrong.
We
I was
call
like,
it
these
the
are
pillars of love.
Yes.
There were
Stop it.
there are some Hallmark movie producers that live here, so it's possible.
Find me.
I
Find.
send you their numbers after the show.
Ooh, excellent. Shout out to the Hallmark
Yes.
producers.
Yeah, shout out to them.
It's a dream of mine, by the way, to write a Hallmark movie. Dream.
Huh.
Yeah.
Write it. You have tons of spare time right now.
Totally spare time. But I have written 14 romance novels, so
14.
yeah, that's in my.
Wow.
Have you not read my bio?
That's true. I have.
Are they under your name or
No,
a pen
they're-
name?
I've blocked
ghostwriter.
out romance, so
Yeah.
I just didn't read that word. I'm sorry.
Do we know the ghost name? No, we don't. You don't have to say it publicly
Yeah,
if you don't want to.
there were 2 that I wrote under.
Your nom de plume.
But it's not a nom de plume. Like it literally ghost wrote. So I did not write all of their books. Do you know?
Yeah,
It was a really
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome.
Job.
Yeah.
So yeah. One was Celia Lauren. One was Sophia Kenzie. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway,
I'm sure they would have been flooded with my grandmother's book library. When I was a kid, I was like, Grandma has so many books. And then I realized later that they were romance novels. And I was like, what's a romance novel? And I was like, oh my God, what is this?
yeah.
You know, it's terrible.
It is wonderfully terrible.
Terrible.
Wonderfully.
Terrible for a 7-year-old to realize
Oh
that.
gosh.
No,
Yeah.
I think I was like 25 when I realized what they were. But there's so much Fabia. Where's Fabia's everywhere on these?
Seriously. Watch out for the seagulls in the sky, Fabio.
Anyway,
back to the theater. Yeah, no, it was a wonderful weekend.
I was yesterday I was doing a show here, which I don't usually do on a Sunday afternoon, but we were recording a show here, and then I went out and I got in my car and I was like, why are all of these people walking this way, like down the hill, right? Towards, I'm like, I've never seen this many people walk. I'm like, is there an event going on? And I realized that Allergist Wife had just gotten out. And I noticed that because I saw a couple walking and one of them had a program in their hand. And I was like, aw, this is so nice.
Yay.
And there were
Yeah.
like, it felt like hundreds of people coming out into the streets and
Yeah.
walking. So it was, I know that it couldn't possibly be more than 144, but is it 144? Am I right?
Just 140.
Yeah,
140. Get the extra 4 seats, guys.
Sorry.
Come on.
It's a fire hazard.
Yeah, right. Like
We
well,
can't.
It's fine. 140 is a great. It's a
It
great
is.
number.
It is a great
for-
number.
It is a
you know,
fantastic number.
It fills really nicely.
It's double 70.
It is double
It's double
70.
70.
Yeah.
It's 2/3 of 210.
That was some quick.
That was my
math.
junior
It's
year
just
in high
sevens.
school.
It's just sevens. It was just sevens.
Anything else? You're done. That's it.
For math?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's half of 2800. I mean it's half of
My
28
word.
280. It's all just football. It's football.
Yeah.
It's football you count by sevens.
Right, well,
So years of not playing football, years of Madden on video games as a child.
well, there you go.
There it is.
I learned my 7 times tables very quickly, up to 105. Anyway,
Anyway.
Well, I do love the big addition of the banners. I think that really
Yeah,
brings
right?
attention to the theater,
Oh, I love
especially
the
when you come
banners,
around
yeah.
the corner. Thanks to David and Tony for putting those up. They really add that extra little oomph that I think will support during the summer traffic too, especially when we have so many people with the Shakespeare in the Park and all of those things that are happening downtown
yeah,
to bring attention to the hill.
Yeah. No, the amount of people that have said to me in the 2 years I've been here, oh, that's a theater? I didn't know. I've lived here my
yeah.
whole life. I didn't
Yep.
know that was a theater. And that's when we started talking about like how to draw people's attention. And I mean, now we look like the Met. It's amazing.
Love
Right?
it.
Yeah, I'm so happy. And we had talked about just, it's a chunk of change.
Yeah.
We had talked about just doing it for the 25th anniversary, but I think enough people are like, oh, we should just keep doing this. It's so good.
It really
Right?
does look very nice, and it
Yeah.
adds that little extra detail that sometimes you need to get more attention for what's happening within those walls. It's so
it
important.
looks a lot. It's a lot grander than just the one on the street.
The marquee.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The little marquee.
Yeah. And
Not
like
that-
the
I don't
marquees
mean- I
are
don't mean
too.
to say little,
No, but
sorry.
they are. There's 2 of them, and you didn't
Yeah.
even mention that. You know what I mean?
There's
they're
2.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. But they're not noticeable, and that was the big issue. And we didn't want to go digital because the
No.
aesthetic doesn't fit with not only our space but like the location. You know, and I didn't want it digital.
And it's hard to have electrical down that far down in towards the street. So there
yeah.
was that issue, and the solar lights were always dying. So it's, how do we make it attractive and still fit our aesthetic?
Banners, and I'm very very happy.
Banners.
I love
Yeah.
them.
But yeah, so just one more weekend of the Tale of the Allergist Wife. So
Mm-hmm.
just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
So that would be 420 seats. Did I do that
Yeah.
right?
No. So 3. So it's 3, right? There's
Yeah.
3 shows. So it'd be 210. No, I'm sorry, 140. Oh my god. Okay, so what did you say it was?
For
480? Yeah.
No. Four.
wow. Somebody text in with the answer.
Guys, listen.
We're theater people. We don't do math.
No, it's 420. It's 420.
It's 420.
Okay. Good morning.
Right.
I am
Good
I don't know, I'm
morning,
overtired right now.
Westerly. We're
I'm-
doing math up on floor 3.
Yeah, we figured that out. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Anyway, so yeah, so only 420 seats. Thank you for hanging on with us while we figured that out.
Woo, it's a lot up here.
420 seats left for the final weekend of the Tale of the Allergist Wife.
in my defense, we were supposed to go to a wedding this weekend, but the rain, there was so much rain. And we didn't know if the wedding was going to happen or not. And then
Do people call off weddings because of
because of
rain?
the rain, and then Jackie was very worried about that, and she got sick, and
Oh,
you know what I mean. It
no.
was just, in other words, just from wondering if the
words.
Oh my god, I
if
almost
the-
did it. I'm so glad.
In other words, just from wondering if the wedding was on or off, a person can develop a cough. You know?
Did you
In
seriously make up that entire story for? Yes. Welcome
Yes,
to
I
bed.
did.
Waiting around
Well, yes, I did.
little band.
Yes, I did. There was no wedding. There was no wedding.
That was
He
amazing.
should help you with that romance
Yeah,
novel.
seriously.
There was
That
no wedding.
no, we're moving on to Hallmark movies
was-
now.
Listen,
Right, sorry.
Listen, I don't know what it is. I just feel like
Well, we are in
I
West
feel like a
LA
child.
after all.
It's great.
West
Yeah, that was
West
good,
LA.
that was good,
Yeah,
that was good, that's
that's
good.
right.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry. It's Jane. She makes me feel I am 14 again.
I'm divided, but I can't decide which side I'm on.
I love just putting song lyrics into the. She didn't even
I
get that.
did
Nicole
not
didn't
get.
that
I did
one.
not get that
So
one.
Bare
Wow.
Naked Ladies
Oh,
has a
see,
song
you guys,
called
you
Jane,
cannot-
except it's
okay,
Jane
it's
St.
that.
Clair
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Listen, you can quiz me with musicals all day, but you put in a pop song, I have no idea what you're talking
Well,
about. And there's no Bare Naked Ladies musical.
no, we should
Not
make one.
yet.
Not yet. Oh, the songs we could do with
Oh
that.
my god.
Seriously.
Okay, so we're writing a
Ugh.
Hallmark movie, we're writing a musical, a jukebox musical,
and
a
we'd
jukebox
sell out as
musical.
soon as you said Bare Naked Ladies. People would be like, "Where
Yeah,
do I buy the tickets?"
absolutely.
Oh, right,
absolutely.
I know.
You could
Well,
run it-
We know because
You could run it in summer stock with full Monty.
Yes,
Um,
that's right. That's right.
What is it called? Hold on. No. What is it called? It's not summer stock. What is it called when you
in rep.
in rep? Thank you.
Yeah.
My mind is
Agog.
Dina says Dina says one of the funniest shows I've ever seen at the Granite. The talent is off the charts. This is a must see. And of course, she means this show right now that we're doing.
Correct.
We're
The
doing
Allergist
right
Wife.
Yeah,
now.
not the allergist wife. No, not the allergist.
Not the
She
allergist
means
wife,
this.
literally
this.
this
Uh,
podcast.
Steve
Oh,
Scar-
excellent.
No,
no,
the Tale of
she
the
meant the
Allergist.
allergist
It was
wife.
great, right, Dina? Like because no one really knows the show, even though it ran on Broadway for 2 years.
Mhm.
Like I feel like I have to convince people how funny it is, but it's, I mean,
And you've also cast it
So-
so,
I know.
perfectly.
yeah.
Sandra's perfect. Heather's perfect.
Yeah.
Cooper. I mean, what a
How adorable is he,
amazing
right?
talent to show up on a doorstep from
Yeah.
who knows where.
New York.
Like just New York. Well, see,
Yeah.
there you go.
I just
Just
feel
when you
like
need it.
straight plays just don't get the love.
They don't
Like Broadway straight plays don't get the. It's not
Unless you
just
put
community
Denzel
theater, right?
and
Like, but even then, like
Nicole
you
Kidman.
see all of these Broadway shows that have famous actors in them that you just never hear again. Like it's
no,
not
it's you're 100% right. And the
unless they
fact
make
that-
a movie of it, you
Right.
never hear about it again.
Right. The fact that I can say like it ran on Broadway for 2 years, and that's huge for a straight play.
Yep.
But Phantom of the Opera was 25 years.
Mhm.
Les Mis
Wicked's
is
over 20
still-
now.
Is it still going Les Mis?
No, it might
No,
be in the
or-
West End though.
Yeah, but I mean that one's like never ending.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a great show.
Oh, this is fun.
Les Mis ended in like 2003.
But
Yeah.
it will
And then they
never
had a-
die.
And then they had a revival in 2006 that people
didn't like.
No, I loved
Oh,
the
you
revival. I loved the revival in 06. Are you kidding me? Alexander Gimiani
There it
is
was. Okay.
Well, as long as
as
it's not Russell
Valjean.
Crowe, we're
Ugh.
good.
no, the Daphne Rubin Vega was
Hmm. The original
Was fun- was
the
fun.
original
Fontaine.
she was
Rent.
she was the original Mimi. in
Mimi.
Rent.
There it is.
But
Interesting.
she was Fontaine, and people did not like that
Oh,
because she's
'cause she sang like
because
me?
she sang like Daphne Rubin Vega.
right.
And but Norm Lewis was
that
Javert,
man.
and he
Ugh.
was amazing.
Mm.
Also, Aaron Lazar was Enjolras. What's his name? He just was here for the Pops last summer.
Burnett, Andrew Burnett.
No, I mean I love Andrew Burnett, but
Oh, sorry. No, he
uh,
did Winter Pops. You mean the guy in Lion King or
yeah,
Aladdin?
He was Aladdin on Broadway. I
Yeah.
can't think of his
I
name
can't
right
think of his
now,
name.
but he was Marius.
Adam.
Yep, Adam. Oh, I'm so
We're obviously
sorry.
on a
Adam.
first name basis.
we saw the Les Mis revival in 06 so many times that Aaron Lazar came out one time from the stage door and went, it's you guys again. Ken and Ken and Dave, right? And I was like, yeah, my name can be Ken.
Absolutely. It's
My name's Ken now. Thank you, Aaron.
Yes. Could you imagine if you actually changed your name and then that was your story?
That would be great.
Anyway.
That would be great. Anyway, one of the best parts of this play is Copper eating every time he is on stage.
Cooper. Yes.
Well, it says Copper on this comment. So
Who said
Cooper.
Clarkson.
Oh yes, Cooper.
that?
He said Copper. Is that how it's spelled?
No, it's Cooper. It's okay. It's okay.
I just want to say that it's not my fault.
He's great.
Yeah, no. So I love that so much. I just kept giving him permission to eat and he grew it, like just expanded it. And I was like, he's so wonderfully like grounded and comfortable when he's eating. And so, he was doing the scene where he was on the couch and I was like, what if you already have a plate of food? And then, and we didn't even like realize this until it happened. But then at the end of the show, she asks him if he's hungry. And he says he skips lunch. And like, he's literally been eating like that entire scene, like, so it is hilarious. And just, a growing young 20-year-old boy would absolutely just be sneaking the food off the table. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So
he's been a great addition. I'm so glad he came
wonderful.
into our world.
Me too. Yeah.
Have you guys gotten to eat on stage a lot?
As often as possible.
I don't
When
think
I
I've
was-
ever.
When I was Adelaide, I enjoyed that. It was fun.
What does Adelaide eat on stage?
So she's not actually supposed to eat,
Yeah.
but
nicely.
at the end of Take Back Your Mink, and then she has the whole scene where she realizes that Nathan has left and she
Yep.
sings the reprise of
Adelaide's
the cold
Lament.
song, Adelaide's Lament. Yep. She's sitting at a table alone on stage. Nicely had come out at the beginning of that scene with food.
Yeah.
And
He eats all the time. in the
right,
show.
but he started to leave it on the table. And then I would just stick the fork into it and flip it up and eat it, like, because I was
Oh, that's
depressed. And
great.
it just
That's
added
perfect.
that extra, and everybody started laughing. And it, because it's natural, like she's very sad and
I ate when I'm
frustrated, and she just stuck her fork into it and flipped the whole cheesecake up and ate it.
Now the only thing.
It's great.
Now,
I
the
loved
only,
it.
The only thing dramaturgically that I think it makes that I can't imagine nicely leaving food somewhere.
No,
There was a reason he left it. It worked.
because he left in
I'm
a
just-
hurry.
Yeah,
Because
he
I
did,
come,
he had to run.
I
He has
come
to
in
run,
because he
yeah.
has to run because she's
Yeah.
like,
well,
oh, she's
the other
coming, I gotta
thing
go.
was
yeah.
he David Caramanti, Daniel Caramanti,
Yes.
who played that. He brought in a new food every day. Like that was
Oh, nice.
his thing.
And it was locally purchased, so it was a way for us to also bring in some local businesses, local pizza shops,
but
Chinese food restaurant.
right. He definitely came in with Chinese food. One day he came in with a giant teddy bear, which I'm not sure was
It was
time
a giant
appropriate.
gummy bear. Yeah, it was an
Gummy bear,
yep.
exactly. Though maybe.
He had cotton candy one day.
churros.
Cotton candy,
Yep.
pizza. He had enormous pizza. It was,
But
but it was
then-
funny.
It was funny. And then the last show he brought in an entire cheesecake.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
From Lindy's.
It was.
One of them is real and one of them is the fake. Lindy's and Mindy's.
Yeah, Lindy's is the real one.
Lindy's is the real one,
Mindy's is
yes.
in the show. Yeah.
We speaking of gorgeous Broadway sets like the Tale of the Allergist Wife, we did Guys and Dolls at Cheraho in 2006, and then we went to see Nathan Lane, who obviously won a Tony for playing, and Nathan Detroit is where he got the name Nathan Lane, because his real name is Joseph
I did
Lane.
know that. Yeah.
But there was another Joe Lane in Actors Equity. Anyway, we went to Mr. DeAngelis took his entire family and me to Broadway to see The Odd Couple with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane,
That must
which
have been
was so
spectacular.
great.
Amazing.
And we stopped at Lindy's for cheesecake because we had just done Guys and Dolls. So that was a ton of fun. one of my favorite Nicely Johnson lines from Guys and Dolls, sort of an old-fashioned saying. He says, I had to get some groceries. I felt a little faint. Yes, kind of an old-fashioned term, groceries. I'm kidding. That is as political as I will ever get on this show. Moving on.
Oh my goodness.
I was feeling faint. I love that
It's
line.
fantastic.
And it elicited laughs every
Every time.
without fail.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time. Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat is one of the greatest songs.
Greatest songs.
Uh,
That is such a wonderful show.
You know what's funny? How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, another Frank Lesser song show, has the exact same song structure. It is like he put a template for his own show.
If it works.
And like
Why
the
not?
11 o'clock number is
Yeah.
the same. The I Want song at the beginning is the same. Like everything is. There's even a part in Brotherhood of Man, which is the 11 o'clock number in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, where there's a random older woman who does a big solo in the middle of it and has the descant, and like it's the exact same thing. So anyway,
that's funny.
Steve
Also a
said
great
Steve said I enjoyed the music during the blackouts in Allergist.
I know. Shout out to Bradley.
Bradley.
So
yes.
Bradley used to be a little boy in my theater classes back in the day when I taught theater classes in collaboration with the YMCA here in Westerly at the Granite Theater. And Bradley showed up, a young, unsuspecting fella. And being a fella in theater, we kind of latch on to them because they're few and far between. So he has really, really developed his skill for sound, his ability to problem solve, support backstage, support anything that he needs to at the theater.
Yeah.
We just adore Bradley.
Adore. Yeah, and I told him I was looking for, Harlem jazz blues kind of, music, but it had to be in the public domain. That's the whole thing. During a show, the songs have to be, any song you use has to be public domain,
Right.
Or else you have to pay for them. Before and after the show, we have licenses that encompass. So we have an ASCAP license, a BMI license. Those allow us to use songs that are not public domain, but we can't use them during
the show.
Yep. Because that's where we're bringing in money, and therefore we'd have to pay out.
Yep.
Like we pay the licensing fee for every show we do. We would have to pay song licensing fees as well. So yeah, so it's again, that's just another wonderful thing like that. I can just task him with that. This is what I'm looking for. Sound designer, go find me songs. And he did such a great job. Even like the scene that gets a little risque.
Yes.
Like the scene change music after that was perfect, in the same vein, but different enough that you were like, yes, I believe that is the music that they need right there.
Yeah.
So yeah. I also really love, there's I so dislike scene changes. I so dislike them. And that is the thing I struggle with the most, because, in professional theater, at a higher level, you get to, moving set pieces, and the transitions just flow so much faster than things we're capable of.
Yeah, they go up at every level of from children's community theater where scene changes take 17 minutes
longer than the scenes.
Yep.
Yeah, I love
to Broadway when you just blink and you're in a new scene.
Right. But we were also dealing with costume changes in this show. And then Rachel, our stage manager, has to change out the food that they use in the scenes. So there are scene changes, but with the music, and we've have this like beautiful low lighting with the windows being backlit, and you can kind of see Rachel putting out the food. It's like a whole other show. Like, it's really interesting. And they're fast. They're wonderfully fast. Like, there was one that during tech, Bradley was like, "This is a minute and 40. This song is a minute and 40. Do I need to loop it?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. We will never have a scene change that's longer than a minute and 40. I will not do it. They will figure it out."
And that is a huge component of our practice time too during Tech Week, because it becomes like a beautiful ballet. There's one thing I don't do on stage, which is choreographed dance, but backstage, I'm usually pretty good at navigating my space, and so is everybody else. We practice it over and over and over again, so that fluidity really becomes natural, because again, the Granite used to be an old church, and there's really not a lot of space backstage, like at all, especially when you have people in a large car. So they really have to learn, where are you during this scene change, so I don't bump into you with this big set piece. Like, it's a wonderful, wonderful ballet that happens. That is, I try to stay out of because of my inability to move in a coordinated way, but it's wonderful to watch.
That's awesome. Steve said the scene changes were worth it in this because of the music and costumes. I loved the costumes.
Oh, thank you.
They were.
Yeah.
They're absolutely beautiful, and just like elevate the show.
That's the goal.
Sandy posted some photos from opening night, or before opening night. She posted some photos, and she posted them on Friday, right before opening night. And I was just like, this looks stunning.
Yeah.
The new lights, gorgeous. Or the new lighting rig, and some new lights, right?
Yeah.
A couple.
Yeah, well, we didn't use the LEDs in this show, but just honestly, the rig, and the rig allows
Having
us so much more
exactly,
flexibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But the lighting, the costumes, the set, everything just from the photos looked so professional and amazing.
They look like photos from a sitcom. They look like it's wild. And I'm like, I know those people. I work with those people all the time. It's funny to see that, where your perspective changes a little, where when everything comes together, you're like, oh, look at
Are
that.
there tickets available?
There are, absolutely.
Okay.
Plenty of tickets still available. So yes, get them ASAP.
GraniteTheater.org. You can click the link in the description of this show to grab those. Jane,
and they're only $25 to $30.
There you go. Jane, what's next for you?
Well, I'm auditioning for Kiss Me Kate, and I will always be at the Granite doing something.
Okay.
So Laramie Project has costumes coming up, and then we have Peter Pan also coming up. So those are larger casts with a lot of dynamic pieces. Laramie Project has a lot of adding on to an existing costume or taking away from it. So that'll be a new, for this particular season, a new little thing to be navigating. And then the children's program is enormous. We're so proud of that. And 45 children, which means 45 costumes minimum. So that's always exciting, working with children. It's a riveting experience. It's one of my favorite things to do because they're so unpredictable, and it gives me a chance to use my humor.
What's your favorite part of everything that you get to do? Is it being on stage? Is it being backstage? Is it working? You've taught, you've done costumes, you've done, like, what's your favorite part of the theater?
I think it's the people. I really do, for lack of sounding sappy. It's the people. It's the time where you are sitting down at a restaurant and someone's like, oh my gosh, I know you were at that show. And they recognize your contribution, or you're walking down the street and someone rolls down the window and says, we love you, Miss Hannigan. Like, it's those moments where you're like, okay, this is what I love to do. I love to share what I can do with other people and watch that inspiration grow in them. It's the people. It's 100% the people.
That's awesome. That is really great. Do you have a favorite show that you've ever been in?
Guys and Dolls. Duh. That's pretty much it. No, she was a bucket list role for me, and I played her for one show in high school. And I had to fill in for a sick
Oh, literally
person.
one performance.
One performance. So then I was like,
yeah,
right.
most people, if they do Guys and Dolls in high school, only do it once.
No, so she had cystic fibrosis and had something happen. So I had to fill in for her for one show. And I was like, oh, I have to do this again. So it was wonderful. I loved playing her, as probably half the community noticed. So
What's been your favorite show to costume?
ooh, that's fun. So let's see. My favorite show to costume was probably I actually liked The Elephant Man. That was really had a lot of great like period pieces and it had a lot of great textures. I do love anytime we have like Christmas shows. Those are always fun just because you have like fun colors and fun patterns that you can use in plaids and things. And a shout out to my dad for all of his old suits that seem to fit people perfectly from the 1960s and things. So yeah, I really love those nostalgic plays. And I also do love a good costume trick. So anytime I can do that,
Put a magnet in something.
Put a magnet in something. Make it unravel the whole length of the stage. I'm game. Let's do it.
That was Drowsy Chaperone.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Very nice.
Well, that's it. So yeah, one more weekend of The Tale of the Allergist Wife. That's just Friday, Saturday at 7:30 and Sunday at 2. Then we strike that set, which means we get her gone. And then start building the Laramie project, which goes up in 3 weeks from this Friday. I don't.
Okay. Excellent.
I'm so tired.
Have you thought about adding more productions?
You know what's so funny? The amount of people that keep asking me that. Like you, it is like it's no. Like I think this is the max.
Yeah.
Because I really like having January open, just to number one take a break, but also to like do stuff at the theater. Like we redid the lighting rig, we painted the ceiling, this next January we might redo the stage. I know.
And some of those weekends also allow us for one-offs to support budding directors or community members that want to share their art. So if we have an open weekend that can accommodate, we love to share that space with others.
Yeah. And so try to do that in like February, like late January, early February, and then give the 3 weeks for that set, the next set to like really go into place.
Right.
And then, otherwise, because of how, fast the turnaround is between the shows, there's really no time. And I don't think people don't really understand that it does take the full 2.5 weeks to build a set. And so when we get, I see you're dark this week, can we steal the stage? It's a construction zone. Like it's not and no one says steal, but you know what I'm saying.
I will. Can I steal the stage and then take it somewhere else?
So for me to like have to stop the construction, stop the construction at a point that looks decent for an audience to come in is like it's honestly next to impossible.
It is.
And so having that like a few weeks at the end of January, early February to allow for anyone else who might want to do a show at the theater, that works.
Yes.
I love it. That's fantastic. Jane, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I hope that you enjoyed this.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Excellent.
Thank you.
I would love to make more references right now, but I can't think of any. And that
you did good today, though. You
listen,
had a number.
I tried.
You told an entire fake story
just to get into Adelaide's Lament.
I mean, that's dedication to a craft.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's really, really valuable asset.
Thank you. Some people don't like the references that I throw into the show.
Into this show, they tell you?
Yeah, they tell me. And I'm like, you know what? Sue me.
Oh, nicely done, sir. Nicely done.
Guys, go see the Tale of the Allergist's Wife this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Granite Theater. Your last chance to see this remarkable play, headlined by some fantastic stars and some incredible costumes and set and music and a whole bunch of other things. I don't know why I've done that voice so many times today, but it is the joy of the theater, and especially on a rainy day like this. So go check them out. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next week. And in the meantime, go check out The Allergist's Wife.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.